Friends, what's up? Ash here. Welcome back to GENTSTEN. Hope you're well. I asked you guys a few days ago, what is your secret weapon fragrance? So your go-to fragrance that's maybe a little bit under the radar compared to what your average Joe is wearing, that you reach for when you're looking for positive attention, looking for compliments, looking for something that's gonna make you smell amazing and stand out from the crowd. And you guys hit me up with a bunch of responses and a whole lot of different fragrances. Now, a lot of times when I ask you guys, what's the deal? What's your secret weapon? What's your most complimented? What's your best winter, summer, whatever? The same fragrances get repeated over and over and over again. This time, that didn't happen quite so much. And what I've done is I have taken 10 of the top vote-getting or upvoted comments, and I'm featuring those here today. So let's jump into it. Let's talk about your 10 secret weapon fragrances. One of the top vote-getting comments was from Sleazy Smurf. So shout out to you, and I'm not including this as one of the official top 10. But he said, not to sound like I'm catering to your ego, but Jet Black Enigma. Catering to my ego? What are you talking? Yeah, thank you. It's been my secret weapon frag for the past year. Since it used to be a limited edition, it always stood out, even when I wore it around other frag head friends. So that original bottling of Jet Black Enigma, that was 5,000 bottles. If you've got one, you're one of 5K. And I want to thank you, Sleazy Smurf, for the support. Now, of course, it's been re-released. So new presentation and everything, but the fragrance inside is the same. Link in the description to my new fragrances. This one, Blue Ridge and Terra Nova. By the way, if you buy any of those, use the code GENTSTEN for 20% off. And also really quickly on that, those fragrances, my new ones, they are shipping to Europe now. So if you go to the website, up in the upper left-hand corner, it'll say United States of America. Change that to your country. It's shipping to 25 countries right now. And you can buy any of my stuff if you want to, or anything else from Michael Malul. And also with those overseas shipments, they're coming through DHL Express. So pretty fast with the shipping. You should get it quickly. I'm saying, it shouldn't be something that drags out forever. And also, if you're in Europe and you order, then when it comes, it's gonna be already taken care of as far as like customs, duties, all that stuff. You won't have to deal with any of that hassle. It's just gonna get dropped off like any other mail that you would buy within your own country. Mail that you would buy within your own country? What? You know what I'm saying. All right, let's jump into the fragrances here. First off, Rare Individual. I'm assuming that's a stylized version of Rare. I always reach for Zerjov Naxos. Absolutely love the scent profile, and everyone around does too. It stands out since it's loud and super sweet. Just can't go wrong with it. I don't see how anyone can dislike this scent. It's incredible. Naxos always gets love from you guys, and it makes sense because this is one of the best tobacco scents that you can buy on the market. As you said, a sweet tobacco, very appealing, easy to wear, had some similarities to Pure Havane, which unfortunately is very difficult to find nowadays. And Pure Havane being one of the most loved fragrances ever, at least within the fragrance community when you're talking about tobacco scents. Having this smell essentially like a higher quality version of that, yeah, that's gonna be a recipe for not destruction, but ultimate success. That doesn't have a good ring to it. So Zerjov Naxos, secret weapon fragrance. Yeah, I could see that for sure. Robert Huston, not so secret Aventis. Yeah, I mean, you're right. It's not really a big secret, is it? But I get it. It's my go-to for almost every occasion. Projection, longevity, and pure class. One of the few where strangers will ask me what I'm wearing 10 out of 10. Yeah, Aventis is Aventis, isn't it? Like you said, any occasion, it's gonna work. You will have some people that say Aventis works better at getting compliments from guys than it does girls. Like dudes just have a thing for Aventis. It's almost like guys that are, huge bodybuilders or something. Like they're gonna get more compliments from other guys who are like, bro, you look swole, than they are from the ladies. Not that you won't get compliments from the ladies. You see what I'm saying though? It's like, yeah.
You guys are big, but my grandson can kick your...
Oh, yeah?
That being said, for me, in my experience anyway, Aventis has been kind of like an equal opportunity compliment puller. Both ladies and guys seem to like the smell. And you'll also have some people argue that the projection, the longevity on Aventis is not good. And you'll have other people like yourself say, oh no, it's actually fantastic. It's amazing. Part of that could be the batch variations with Aventis, where some batches are stronger, some are weaker, some smell more like fruits with the pineapple in the opening, some smell smokier, some are a nice mix. But again, going back to your average person, yeah, most of them are not going to be wearing Aventis, if nothing else, because it's freaking expensive. So I could absolutely see this as a secret weapon type fragrance where you have a bottle of it and you bust it out when you really want to make sure that you're smelling as good as possible. You know, like you said, 10 out of 10. Jared Steele is up next. Lately, it's Offnon's Tarothi Brown. Smells really similar to Mustache Eau de Parfum and YSL Tuxedo, but somehow for me, even better than either of those two more expensive fragrances. It's my secret weapon only because not a lot of people are talking about it yet. I wore it to church a couple of weeks ago and got more compliments than ever before, and I've worn a lot of amazing fragrances to church before now. You heard it here first, Tarothi Brown, guaranteed compliment destroyer at church. So I actually got this back when one of you guys had emailed me and told me that it was a great alternative to YSL Tuxedo or Mustache Eau de Parfum. So I went ahead, got my hands on it from Fragrance By, if memory serves correctly. And while I would say it's in that style, you know, it's in that family of Mustache Eau de Parfum, YSL Tuxedo, it's maybe not quite as close to those as they are to each other. So like Mustache EDP and Tuxedo are closer, and then Tarothi Brown is kind of like similar-ish, but with a twist. You know, it has that warmth, that spice, that woodiness, but it's also kind of doing its own thing. It's like instead of being a brother, it's like a cousin or something. But it is nice. The quality here is good. And actually, I have heard from numerous people that one is a big compliment puller. So it is kind of an under the radar, like different style of fragrance that still does accomplish getting you that positive attention. Then we got Mr. X. He says, gotta go with Jazz Club. It's well known in the FRAGcom, you're right, but rare to smell on your average guy. Yeah, also right. The scent itself is also quite unique and relatively versatile. This one does smell very good, especially to my own personal taste. You know, that booziness, get a little bit of that tobacco smoke kind of vibe going on, but not overdone. Quite sweet, which does help with that compliment factor. Good performance as well. Smells great in the air. There's a reason Jazz Club gets hyped up so much. Basically the most hyped as far as men's fragrances go in the entire replica line. And I would agree with you that during fall and winter, once it starts to cool down outside, it is pretty versatile. You can pull this off a lot of different times, a lot of different ways, a lot of different places. Then we got Matej Gospic. I am so sorry because I know I just butchered your name. Rokas Mustache Eau de Parfum smells so classy. You just pop off at events, and I personally got a lot of compliments for it. Vanilla in there overtakes all the scents around. Red tobacco excluded. So yeah, interestingly enough, we had the Tarothi Brown, Mustache Eau de Parfum as well, getting a lot of love. So fragrances in this style, because I also saw YSL Tuxedo mentioned, very popular as kind of a secret weapon fragrance. I also like that you specified red tobacco. That red tobacco is stronger than Mustache. Like no other fragrance that's ever existed did you mention. You're just like, this stuff is so strong. It really gets you noticed unless red tobacco, man. If that one's around, I don't know. It's tough. Yeah, man, absolutely right there with you. Mustache Eau de Parfum. It's classy. It's sexy. That vanilla smells fantastic. The scent profile here is just absolutely killer, especially for the price point. Lyle Karkin up next. Bentley for Men Absolute Black Bottle. No current popular men's fragrances are even remotely similar to it. Plus, it lasts forever. So Lyle, going for more of a kind of a throwback, classy, mature, gentlemanly kind of fragrance here. Bentley for Men Absolute smells similar to Gucci Pour Homme, which is discontinued and commands a hefty premium on the secondary market. So if you want to get your hands on a bottle, you're gonna have to pay up for it. I've got 2 bottles of it right here. Right there. I think I was pointing to the right. It's back there. It's one of those blurry bottles. There's 2 of them back there. So with this one, you're getting woods, incense, and papyrus. And thankfully, from discounters, it's going to run you about $35 or so, which is like maybe 15% of what a bottle of Gucci Pour Homme will cost you. And frankly, I do think it's a very good pickup. It's going to appeal more to guys middle-aged and older, so younger guys maybe wouldn't like it quite so much. But as I said, when introducing the fragrance, extremely classy. Olfactive Overdose says, Pure XS Night. It's an extremely underrated winter gem that's a big compliment puller and will have people asking about it. And I agree. I like Pure XS and I like Pure XS Night. Pure XS Night is a bit stronger, so it's gonna project more, it's gonna last longer, which does make it better suited for winter, especially when it's really cold out, as compared to the original Pure XS. And I gotta say, I do agree it's underrated. I mean, for whatever reason, it didn't catch on in a big way with the fragrance community, and in general, not a massive hit the way that like 1 Million or Invictus were for Paco Rabanne. But I love that kind of sparkly opening that it has, the sweetness that it has, that almost Coca-Cola, Dr. Pepper kind of version of myrrh that you have in the fragrance. So with Pure XS Night, I'm in agreement with you with everything that you said. Marshall Hawkins up next says, great question. Lately, it's been Pasha de Cartier Parfum. Underrated gem for the cold weather. So we got an underrated winter gem followed up by an underrated gem for cold weather. So Pure XS Night, maybe that one leans a little more youthful because of the sweetness. And then Pasha de Cartier Parfum is once again a fragrance that's more elegant, more mature, a classy scent. It has a throwback style to it to an extent because it does have remembrances of the original Pasha de Cartier in here. So you have little flashes of that kind of barbershoppy vibe along the edges of the scent. And then you have a nice creamy woodiness, a bit of booze as well. So it is a modern take on the Pasha de Cartier style of fragrance, but it still has one foot in the past. Really, really elegant and classy, as I said. Andres A says, the scent, absolute fire. Fire. Surprisingly, I saw a few iterations of the scent being posted up to that post as replies. So I saw this one, I saw the scent Le Parfum, the scent Private Accord, and that is one place that I think the scent excels in, is being kind of a secret weapon type fragrance, because it's very different smelling from other designers out there. That Meninka fruit, obviously, giving it this different kind of edge, but it still has enough of a fruity sweetness to it. It's not overdone, but enough of it that it still has that mass appeal. And then they change around and tweak the base most times to give it a different flair. So the scent Absolute, this one is going to be a little more versatile. I think most people would say nice bit of vetiver in there as it dries down. And as I've said a number of times, I'm a fan of the scent. I think that it's an underrated line, good compliment pulling line. And a lot of times you can get them for decent prices at discounters. Last one is from Gold Track. 1 Million Lucky. Can't go wrong. One of the best winter scents and lasts forever. Ooh, blinding you again. So 1 Million Lucky, I don't think of as just a winter scent. And to be fair, you didn't say it was just a winter scent. You said one of the best winter scents and lasts forever. I would say that you can use this in spring. You can use this in fall. You can use this in winter. A lot of versatility to the scent. It's got a nice fruitiness to it. Plum in there, giving it a very different approach instead of your more typical bergamot or grapefruit or green apple or something like that. It has honey, kind of an ozonic feel to it. As I've said a number of times, it's like you take bits and pieces of what would be a summertime fragrance and also what would be a wintertime fragrance, and you kind of introduce them and let them mingle and become 1 Million Lucky. So it gives you really nice versatility, good compliment factor, and also very unique smelling. Doesn't really smell like any other 1 Million fragrances, and for that matter anyway, it doesn't smell much like other designers either. So very solid stuff. So there we go, guys. Your 10 hidden gem fragrances. Thank you everybody that submitted your posts, that submitted your fragrances, that voted on other people's posts. We'll keep on doing these through the new year, letting you guys take part in different videos and letting you be part of the whole channel. Thank you all for watching. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you later.